This is Minecraft and this is real life. But flip that around, because this one is actually Minecraft and this one's real life. Flip it again. This one's Minecraft and this one's real life. Okay, this one's actually Minecraft and this one's real life. They're both Minecraft, but they look fucking real. And for the next 100 days, this is what my Minecraft world is going to look like. Real life. If real life was a little bit pixelated when you look at it closely. Because this is 100 days in ultra-realistic Minecraft. Quickly, I'd like to credit REDRANGER for making this map. There's a link to their maps in the description, but you might notice these maps aren't really fit for playing survival. Yep, these trees don't give you real wood. Matter of fact, there's not really any resources in this world at all. Luckily, I fixed this by adding custom recipes and a few resources to make the game actually playable. And no, this isn't one of those turning Minecraft into real life videos. We don't have temperature, natural disasters, any of that BS. Except a thirst bar, somehow that snuck in. You also get slowness when you go in grass, just like in real life. I spent the first day getting used to this new terrain. Since this is an aesthetic map, everywhere is covered in decorative blocks, so placing your own blocks is kinda hard. I also have to get used to constantly drinking water and getting salmonella from every sip of water I take. After making tools, I got a little bit of extra wood, and before I knew it, the sun was beginning to set. And unlike regular Minecraft, nighttime in this is actually scary. You also can't hit the mobs because of the f***ing blocks. So I spent the rest of the night underground getting iron. Just iron though. I wasn't able to find any coal. That's why I'm holding a redstone torch for light. On day 2, I found out that baby zombies are invincible. Just like in real life, you can't hit babies. Well, you can, but I crafted something called an iron leather flask, which would be good for replenishing thirst if you didn't get salmonella too from drinking it. You just lose thirst so fast, there's not even a point. Look at that amazing view though. Oh, I'm on 3 thirst bars. So until I can purify water, the bowls are better because they only give you salmonella 1. I'm cutting down a lot of these trees because the first thing I want to do is build a small house. This mod pack adds a bunch of block variants that allow you to build with more detail than regular Minecraft. That's how the terrain was made. So using these, it's going to be kind of like building a house for the first time. Which is why for the first time ever on day 3, I placed a spruce log. Okay, I'm going to build a normal house before adding more detail. Just like I said earlier, there is an annoying amount of rocks preventing me from building the rest of this porch area. But this is the progress at the end of day 3. It's done. On day 4, I started using some new blocks, and as you can see, I had no difficulties with that. I never realized how insane the game looks while I was playing. Like, there's something about the realistic graphics that makes it look 10 times better when you aren't playing. Anyways, instead of sleeping, I decided to see what building was like during the night on day 4. Yeah, we're good off that. They got him in combat mode. My first realistic house is officially complete. Actually, it's not realistic yet. Now it is. When you look at the house this way, you know, it's just a regular house. When you look out the house that way, I see the view that I had to grind for. One day, I'ma have a castle in the hills right there. But I'm broke, and I'm not living in the hills now. So to get my money up, it's time to go mining. In realistic civilization, everyone pays their taxes. 10 diamonds a week for a realistic noob like me. I was fighting a war in these caves. And there's a reason these caves look so bad compared to the surface. As I said earlier, I had to add some stuff myself. The caves are one of those things. Also, finding diamonds is going to be really hard, because they're nearly impossible to see. I ended day 6 with a brand new 2026 diamond pickaxe with 0 miles, and on day 7, I realized that there is no coal. Also, watch me miss these diamonds. The reason there is no coal isn't because there is no coal, but it's because I'm at too low of a Y level to find coal. The coal I added to this world spawns above Y0, and the surface where I am at is somehow below Y0. So I gotta go somewhere else to find coal. I thought I'd be able to see the house from here, but you really can't. I think that should be enough coal to last us at least 2 days. For the first time in this realistic world, it was raining. I don't know why, but when I was a kid, those realistic rain videos in like GTA 5 used to go hard. Everybody knows that rain is the most realistic graphics. Now that I could smelt stuff without getting wood or lava buckets, I used some copper to make a water purifying setup. Though I'm not really sure how to tell when the water is ready. I spent the rest of the night finally adding light to our house and crafted a few more upgrades. On day 10, I decided it was time to go and explore the other biomes. Mainly to explore, but also to get food and wood, because one of the biomes has trees that are actually mineable. So, it's time to hit the water. Now you might have noticed it took 2 whole days to get here, but I finally have access to like actual good trees that give a lot of wood. This long walk did uncover a different problem though, and that's that there is no food in this world. For some reason animals don't spawn in like 99% of the areas they should be spawning. It took me literally longer than the Minecraft RSG world record to find some sheep and a chicken, but at least my Minecraft looks incredible, right? On day 13, I boated around looking for some more mobs, and I actually found some. These are definitely real ducks. But I would never kill ducks, obviously, so these are not going to help me. While walking through the foliage slowness 10 field, I found a total of 0 mobs. Since I got my wood, I decided to just head back to where I built my house. You also might have noticed that there's a big stone wall over there. To make an actual survival world, I had to combine multiple of REDRANGER's maps into one, and that causes stuff like this to happen at the edge of the individual maps. It's completely unacceptable for a giant wall to be in a realistic video. I'm unsubbing. Anyways, the view from the top of the wall goes kinda hard. Alright, so you saw the montage of me walking all the way here. This time on the way back, there's gonna be no montage, just pure locking in. Yep, that was me eating rotten flesh. That's how bad it's got. Luckily, I found this bear-colored pig thinking he could hide. Bro really tried to morph into a bear thinking I wouldn't see him. At the end of the day, it's night, and at night I realized something. I had a carrot in my inventory that either came from God or a zombie. So I wanted to plant that carrot for food, but you can't hoe grass. And for some reason, there's just grass down here. No dirt. And there's no dirt down here, just a battle arena. So on day 16, I had to go on a quest for dirt. With this newfound discovery of dirt, I finally have a food source. And to solidify this food source, we are making a farm. Now I just gotta hope Bugs Bunny doesn't pay me a visit. For the rest of the day, it was time to focus on interior design. Now I'm not a very good interior decorator, but I at least had to try using some of these new blocks. I think that's everything done. I'm keeping the water source. I don't care. It's less annoying than the lake. After completing the interior, there is one final thing that my house needs. Water chicken. It's really a sugarcane farm. Since this map wasn't made for survival, there is not very much sugarcane on the map. There should actually be 0 sugarcane on the map, but I added some in order to get enchants. And now it's growing at my base. And with that, my first house is finished. Now I just gotta build a castle up there that is like 100 times bigger and better. But on day 18, it is time to get full diamond armor and enchants. Standing above this cave for so long turned it into a 1000v1 Mr. Beast challenge. Except I don't have any traps. As I said earlier, diamonds are pretty much invisible. Exhibit A of invisible diamonds. Don't worry, I got it on the way back. A full realistic set of diamond armor. This is what they wore in the 1800s or something. For enchants, you need cows to give you some of their leather, and I asked them for leather and they said no. So on day 21, I started killing them. But the cows got smart and enabled some defense systems. That's not a cow. Didn't even know donkeys could spawn on this map. For the rest of the day, I got XP because I guess 32 levels isn't enough. I was also collecting obsidian because the nether is enabled in this world just like in real life. On day 22, I fell into a random hole in the middle of the ground, twice. And I collected more cows. I also made this nether portal underneath my house, and on day 23, I went into the nether portal. This whole time, I've been trying to get a level 30 enchant table, and let me ask you a quick question. How many books do you need for a level 30 enchant table? Not 15. I somehow mistaken 15 bookshelves for 15 books. Well, at least we have level 10. There is no way I'm gonna be able to kill enough sugarcane and farm enough leather to make another 30 books right now, so I just enchanted with what we got. I spent the rest of the day replenishing my XP, used that XP to make a decent pickaxe, and on day 24, I finally got a flask of water without salmonella in it. That only heals 2 thirst bars per sip. I thought it healed as many as it shows here per sip, not total. We're just gonna be sticking to water bowls. Today I decided it was finally time to climb to the top of the mountain. Since that is where I'm going to be building my castle, I kinda have to move all my stuff up there.
I'm on my way from misery. I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. I'm on my way.
That's pretty cool. A new infinite water source, a new nether portal, a new bed, chests, and that's really all we need for a new house. I spent the rest of the day making a path connecting the new portal to the one at my house, so now I don't have to climb up the mountain every time I want to go back. Going back, I did find out that I'm too far away from my farms for them to grow while I'm gone, and I was like, you know what? Instead of moving them, I'm just gonna make a chunk loader. I don't even know what a chunk loader is. So after reading about chunk loaders, it told me ender pearl stasis chambers work as chunk loaders. So I beat up an enderman on day 26, and I did this. Anyways, the rest of the day I couldn't get another ender pearl, so on day 27, I went back to the nether. Hopefully I can get some ender pearls here, and find some gold blocks so I can have golden carrots forever. But since this is a realistic video, and the nether is not realistic, all you need to know is that 1. The dehydration situation is so bad that I had to enable water bowl stacking to survive more than 5 minutes in the nether. 2. Everywhere around me is a basalt biome and it's super annoying. 3. I got my ender pearls and mined a bunch of warped wood for a future build. And 4, I don't think structures are enabled in the nether for some reason. This might be due to the fact that the world was created with generate structures off, although I don't know if that affects the nether as well. So with that in mind, on day 29 I made my stasis chamber, and decided it would be better to go mining for gold instead. After a whole day of mining, this was really my diamonds compared to gold. I was actually convinced that I made gold the rarest ore in the game, but I didn't give up because 99% of miners quit before they hit big, and I'm in the 1% because at the end of the day I found a super vein of gold. So I left the caves with over a stack of gold, and on the way back to my house, I may have started playing a horror game. This happened twice. On day 31, it was finally time to go visit the 4th and final biome. But first, where did my 20 obsidian go? I needed that obsidian to build portals so that I can fast travel to the other biomes. So getting my obsidian back took up like half of the day. Looking at this terrible terrain, you can probably guess what the last biome is. The reason it looks this bad is because I tried to make a smooth transition instead of the walls the other biomes have. But I promise it doesn't look this bad on the top because I didn't make that. Of course this biome looks really cool, but it's kinda useless in survival, so I don't really need to make a pathway to this portal in the nether. I don't think we will be going back there. Where we will be going back to though is the swamp. Why does this kind of look like a horror thumbnail? On day 34, I had almost arrived back at the swamp. And there it is. Somehow we made it to the part where they actually line up. This is probably a good place to put the portal. Now we just have to make a clear path all the way back. I spent the next day just trying to make the path a little bit clearer so I don't get lost, and on day 36, I found out that my chunk loader does nothing. The sugarcane has not grown at all. But I didn't really care about that at the moment, because instead I was focused on building a tunnel to connect my portal. The tunnel needs to be a 3x3 area, and for the walls I'm going to be using these sideways slabs because you get like 5 of them for a single plank. So for the rest of the day, I placed walls and dug out the tunnel, and by day 37, I was completely finished placing the first wall parts. And on day 40, I finished the tunnel. And somehow it matches the Christmas chest, which is completely coincidental. On day 41, it's time to address the elephant in the room. Well, I don't know if it's really an elephant, but I want to finish the level 30 enchant table I was trying to get like 20 days ago. So for the next few days, I'm just gonna wander around and kill cows. Okay, why are all these cows bald? I ended the day off with a grand total of 2 leather. I need 30 leather. Cool sunrise though. So on day 42, I got the stupid idea of going to the swamps to try to find more cows. I don't know why I even went to this biome to look for cows. There's no cows in the water. There's also no cows here either. I don't think I killed a single cow my entire time here. But at least I realized this pretty quickly and made my way back home. You might not see it, but traveling to and from the swamp still takes over 5 minutes even with the nether portals. So it is now day 44 and I'm still looking for cows. Is that a pink sheep in realistic Minecraft? I don't know why, but I decided to go F1 mode for this view. Anyways, by the end of the day I had 11 leather. So I decided to kill cows until I at least reach 15 leather. So we'll just save level 30 enchants for later. Again, I spent the rest of the day enchanting to get a looting sword, but I was unsuccessful. And on day 46, it was finally time to start building the castle. Originally, I wanted to build it here where I've placed all my stuff, but now I'm actually thinking that this part of the mountain would be a lot better of a place for it. So I'm going to go over here, and we will start making an outline of where I want the first wall to be. So this whole netherrack thing is going to be like a wall with a gate, and in order to build that wall, we are going to need a lot of cobblestone. This is a massive vein of diamonds. 34 from that vein. What? And that is pretty much a full inventory of stone. I decided to make the wall out of these sideways stair things to save cobble, and I started off by building a little gate entrance with these rounded blocks like this. After that, I was placing these wood sections every few blocks, and I wanted to keep building throughout the night, but that doesn't seem to be possible. So I continued on day 48 with these iron gate things. I think they're a nice addition to the entrance, and I pretty much spent the whole day building walls out of these cobblestone things. This is what the wall looked like at the end of the day. And this is what the wall looked like by day 50. As you can see, I added a few things. Day 49 will be missed. On this day, I started making the wall look a little less blocky because this is Minecraft. Why would I want anything to look like blocks? And after another day of doing this on day 51, the wall now looked a little bit smoother. So the next step was adding some windows like this, and I put some of these blocks underneath them on day 52, and added some block variation to the wall as well. Placed some of these blocks on the bottom, added some trapdoors, window shutters, this barbed wire thing on the top, and by day 54, the wall was complete. It may not have looked like it, but building this literally took me 7 days, and that is only like 5% of the finished castle. After taking this long on a single part of this build, I really was kinda concerned that I wouldn't be able to finish it before day 100. On day 55, I made a small pathway out of gravel, and then I began clearing all this random stuff out at the top of the mountain. Of course, to build this castle, I am using a reference. This castle right here is kinda what we're going for. So we are going to have to build another even bigger wall above the current wall before we even start the building. And this time I'm using full cobblestone blocks because placing those stair things took forever. On day 57, I realized that this does not look right. The wall needs to be extended way further to the right. And at the end of the day, I found some pillagers. There shouldn't be any pillagers. On day 58, I started replacing some of the full blocks with the quarter blocks like I said I wasn't going to do. Since I'm basically rebuilding the wall, this is going to take a few more days. Day 59, my lifetime supply of cobblestone finally ran out, so I had to put in another 12-hour shift at the cobble mines. And on day 61, I was getting jump scared by creepers. It's obviously not finished yet, but now you can clearly see there is a wall. Next up, I'm going to continue the line I put here all around the top of the wall. After that, I'm going to run out of cobblestone again. Okay, so it is now day 63, but now we can put some lanterns up here and start working on a layer of stairs in the middle, which will also get some lanterns underneath. And now on day 64, a layer of stairs goes on the bottom, and I didn't even show it here, but the wall part of the wall was finally finished. But what do I mean the wall part? If you look at the picture of this castle here, you can see there's buildings on top of the wall, so I'm going to have to fill in this entire area with these slabs as well. As you can see, this is taking forever and it's kind of hard to place them accurately. So instead of continuing to do this, I decided that placing full blocks underneath them and then placing them would be a lot better. So it's netherrack time. I'm surprised my pickaxe still has this much durability. On day 65, I kinda got a clear view of my finished wall. I wasn't really stopping to look at things because I needed to finish this before day 100. And I still hadn't started the actual building after 20 days. So I spent this day just placing down netherrack, and then I ran out of netherrack. And after that, I accidentally crafted 3 stacks of the wrong floor. The next 2 days is just me filling in this floor with netherrack, and then filling in the top part with this stone block. But on day 68, I ran out of stone. But I was so close. I don't know why I got 2 stacks of slabs to fill in this small area. Okay, now the floor is done. Just have to clear out all the mobs from down here. I ended the day off with a full no salmonella streak, and on day 69, I wanted to go get some oak wood for the castle floors and also to add to the second wall if I have time. Just walking through this terrain, I forgot how incredible it looks. This castle has me forgetting what I'm playing. I will say that with how good the terrain looks, the building experience has not been the most fun for me. I feel a lot of pressure to make sure that my castle looks good enough to live up to the standards set by this terrain. And right now, I don't think we're there yet. I spent the rest of the day fighting a war just so that I could get some oak wood, and on day 70, I returned back to the base. At the beginning of the day, I tried to get a looting sword but failed again, because for the 3rd time, I was trying to get leather. 2 leather. We need 11 more. Hopefully it doesn't take us the whole day. There had to be a cow there, right? Okay, I'm hallucinating cows. At this point, you might have been like, you should have just traded with leather for piglins. But does trading with piglins come with a view like this? Anyways, I didn't get any more leather today. And on day 71, I took a new approach for finding cows today. I went from the top down, and it was kind of working. That's 7 leather already. Look at this dumb cow walking towards me while I'm holding leather. I don't think cows even know they are leather. Like, they don't see this and know that's them. Believe it or not, I still don't have 13 leather, but hopefully this will be enough to get a silk touch pickaxe. The main block I'm going to use for the castle needs to be made with stone instead of cobblestone. And I'm not just gonna sit here and smelt 30 stacks of cobblestone. No, actually I am. For some reason I tried smelting the stone before getting the silk touch pickaxe. On day 72, I started digging an outline for the castle, and then I started filling in the bottom layer with stone bricks. But remember, I'm smelting them, so this is how many bricks I had so far. I had to dig a bit of terrain out to fit the build, and on day 73, I finally grew a brain and went to the nether to get levels for the silk touch pickaxe. Okay, now I can get stone a lot faster than by furnaces. Day 75, I finished the second layer of stone bricks, and moved on to white limestone bricks, which will be the main block for this build. Of course I had this much finished, and then decided I should use vertical slabs instead, so I had to erase all of today's progress and start again with new blocks. This is the problem with building for the first time in this mod. I can't get anything right on the first try, but I think it looked much better on day 76. So I kinda started experimenting. Again, this row was another experiment, but I thought it actually looked decent, so I kept it. Unfortunately, I was out of stone the next day, so I spent the whole day in the mines. Day 79, I began placing the roof. Even though this block is supposed to be a type of stone, for some reason it sounds like wood when it's placed. Look at that zombie thinking he can kill me. Now that I was working on the roof, I felt a lot more confident in finishing the build before day 100. On day 81, I broke these lines that I was placing before and replaced them with quartz ones instead. And this is what the build was looking like so far. This is definitely the most detailed thing I've ever built, and we are still not even close to being finished. Anyways, I added another layer of quartz in the middle. I think it looks better. And for the rest of the night, I was building the roof. And on day 82, this is what it looked like. Remember that lifetime supply of cobble on like day 45? It was definitely not a lifetime supply. On day 83, the roof was finally getting close to completion. I added these cobblestone pillars on the sides and in the middle, and I continued filling in the roof until it was done. Well, it's missing one block, but we just have to craft it with the stone cutter. It was done. So now every part of the building is done, except the windows and the tower on the right. First off, I wanted to add the windows, but there is a little bit of a problem. Instead of using these prison bars like on the first wall I built, I want to make the windows out of glass. But there is not actually any sand in this world. There is a solution to this, but before I did that, I finished a couple of small parts of the build. I changed the bottom part to stairs instead of full blocks, started adding a little bit of an overhang to the doorway of the building, and filled in the entire floor with oak slabs. Which took until near the end of day 85 to complete. But now I can finally add the windows. How did I even get the glass? I actually placed a few blocks of sand underneath the sugarcane I placed on this map because I couldn't find dirt in the creative menu. The dirt is called loamy dirt or something in this mod. I'm not stupid. So that's how I got sand. But I had to add a sand dupe in order to make enough glass to fill in all the windows. Anyways, the windows are done. On day 86, I was trying to see my castle from my old home. I can't find it. Today I harvested a bunch of these leaf blocks so I can use them to make shrubs in front of the castle. And I finally got a looting sword after 87 days. So those last two bookshelves better watch out. I started breaking some blocks for where I want the shrubs to be placed, and I wanted to place these shrubs on some grass, so I made grass slabs to maximize the grass blocks. But I did not know that you can't place grass slabs on the top of the block. So I ran out of grass pretty quickly, so I placed what I could so far, and then I started adding some light posts around the sides. On day 88, I had to go get some grass, but I couldn't even remember how I got grass in the first place, so I just settled with dirt. Also, before you think silk touch, you don't have to silk touch grass in this mod to get it. I just couldn't find any full grass blocks that weren't slabs. Along with the shrubs, I wanted to add my own custom trees. You can probably guess how that went. It went pretty good actually, because I just tried to copy the ones from the actual map. Finally on day 90, I got to work on the unfinished tower on the side of the castle, and there it is. Let's add some stairs, a door, a floor, ladder, lantern, another floor, windows, these things on the side, and now you could say that this is finished. It's not finished, but you could say it. Anyways, for these next 10 days, I was able to at least slow down the building because I was pretty close to being done. I was just adding some extra details to the build now, like this cobblestone outline, and a pathway, and a door at the front. I also was going to need a little bit of birch wood to make into white shutters for the windows, but getting wood here is really annoying. I mean, look at this. While getting wood, I did manage to solve the cow problem though. Hello, level 30 enchant table that I'm not going to use once. With all the wood I collected, I wasn't able to make that many shutters. So it's time to go industrial on the birchwood collection on day 93. There's a ton of big birch trees in this swamp. We just gotta find the birch forest. I still can't believe how insane this map looks. I remember one of my first videos to get 1 million views was a realistic video, and that just looked awful compared to this map. Again, shout out to REDRANGER. Somehow a map not even made for survival managed to be such a great experience. I'm going to miss ultra-realistic Minecraft. I won't miss the thirst bar though. I love how the LODs make it look like there's snow on the roof. It looks so stupid and it's not what I wanted. On day 95, I finished adding shutters to the house, and I added a few more details to the tower. How the hell is there snow in here? I was pretty happy with how the tower ended up looking, so on day 97, I added more windows to the tower underneath, and now you really can't see how it looks. Because of the snow, that's how it looks. I made a pathway out of gravel leading to the castle, and put some slabs on the outside of it for some extra detail. And on day 98, the castle was finally finished. So it's time for a house tour. It starts over here with the camp. Make sure to fill up your water bottles at the fountain. We have the LOD version of the castle. Looks great, as you can see. Now we gotta run all the way over here. We have this terrain I created trying to merge the two maps, blocking our view. Then we have this really nice fog that stops you from seeing anything. This is the wall, the first part of the castle. Now let's go through the door that definitely should make that sound. I can't do this with the fog, we're waiting. Okay, we just gotta go, it's not going away. Then we got our castle. Okay, this looks like shit. The sun is in the walls. Okay, it's finally gone, let's start again. I give up. It's fine, because there's really nothing left to see, as there's nothing in the castle. I don't know what that is. I spent the rest of the night adding this oak wood to the walls, because I said I would do it like 30 days ago and forgot, and on day 99, I finished that. On this day, I really didn't have anything left to do, so I figured I would go back to my old house and try to crash my PC. I wanted to load in the whole mountain to see what it looks like without distant horizons. If anyone was wondering, this is what it looks like. Don't move your mouse though. It's a little laggy. Anyways, I spent the rest of the day just getting a good view of the sunset, and before I knew it, it was day 100. My original plan for day 100 was to go into creative and finish my castle, but I am actually really happy with how it turned out. So instead, I figured I would just go through the world one more time in replays to see what it looks like.